Hello there, inbreds and citizens of the Netherlands. It is I, and I have a video I want to show y'all about this formerly broken shotgun that I had just kind of sitting around in my house. Last night and this morning, I spent a amount of time that I know was too much in an attempt to somewhat repair this shotgun. I tore through it and I could not find any sort of discernible serial numbers or date of manufacturer, company, nothing. There's no markings in it at all, except for right here. There are some, I think, are tally marks. They could also just be scratches. Otherwise, there is no real discernible markings on this firearm. And so I guess I'm going to go through it, tear it apart a bit, and show y'all how it works. Okay, so the first part is to take the shotgun, bring it to half cock. Why? Because if you don't bring it to half cock, you cannot open up the breech. You have to funnel with it a bit because the firing pin gets in the way. You can see the firing pin is right here. It's just a little piece of metal. It sticks through, and if you don't have it, you have to kind of funnel with it, because what will happen is it will stick out a bit and catch right there on the inside of the barrel, inside of the bore. Anyways, you open up the firing, or the deal. It's simple. There's a pivot point here and a pin here that connects to a little C-shaped piece of metal that hooks onto the bottom of the breech block. Open up, pops it open. Okay, so I had to go inside and grab this little broken screwdriver because this screwdriver was too fat to punch out that pin. Anyways, what you do is you get your state-of-the-art mallet, state-of-the-art pin, punch thing, and just get it right here, and tap on it lightly. Pop that out. Now those are disconnected. Then line it up on this pin. Tap on it lightly. And pop it out. Simple as that. This piece comes out now. And now you can slide this up. You bring the hammer to half cock. It gets out of the way. Slide out the breech block from the top. And yeah, the firing pin, or the hammer, hits the back of the firing pin, pushes it forwards. Get y'all a better view from the front. Oop, gets hit, pops out, strikes the primer and back of the shell, and makes it explode. Now I'm going to show y'all kind of an inside of how this hammer trigger mechanism works. Okay. I cannot find a flashlight, so I'll try my best to show you with the lighting I've got. It's kind of difficult to see, but there's a trigger in here. It's just a little piece of sheet metal. Cock back the hammer. The sheet metal slides underneath the bottom of the hammer. Can't see any of it, but yeah, when you pull the trigger, hammer goes forwards. I would take the hammer out so I could show y'all better. However, it is very difficult and annoying to put the hammer back in once you have removed it. Okay, I have reassembled the firearm, and it has started to slightly drizzle, so I decided to put the hat on because I don't really want to get wet. So yeah, the way it works, I have it reassembled. Gotta kind of jiggle it a bit, get the firing pin out of the way. Of course, gotta half cock it. Firing pin out of the way. 12 gauge, as I've said earlier, unknown as to whether or not it fires single shot, or not single shot, black powder or smokeless powder. It is a smooth bore. There's no rifling, which is unnecessary considering it's a shotgun. It's designed, I don't know if they really had slugs at the time this was around, or at the time this was made. I don't know, don't quote me on that. Then again, I don't know when this was made. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have an empty shotgun shell. It's already been fired. There's nothing in here. The primer's gone. Just an empty shell. I'm just gonna demonstrate. So yeah, open it up. The shell. Slide the shell in. Make sure it's nice and good in there. Close it. Cock it. Bam. Pull the trigger when you're ready. Half cock. Open it up. Now here's another thing. There used to be an auto extractor in here. You can tell right here is a little groove. There used to be kind of a J-shaped piece of metal, and the short end of the J was somewhere down in here. And what would happen is, as you open this, the breech block would hit the J, and there's a pin that goes through right here. You can see I tried knocking it out for the longest time, but I couldn't get it out because it's rested in place. Anyways, yeah, there was a J-shaped piece of metal. When you bring it down, it would hit the bottom of the J, and it would pivot on this pin, and it would rotate, and it would kick out. Ideally, kick out right here and hit the rim of the shell and knock it out. The problem was either these shells are too small, or what I think is more likely, which I know is more likely, is that the firing or the extractor was just bent the fuck out of the way, and it was rusty, and it wasn't, bent into a manner in which it would work properly. So my rather Punjabi solution is to get a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, stick it in there, and just kind of rotate it a bit. Catches the rim, pop it out, pull it out, rest the way. Okay, this is me coming back after I've reviewed a lot of my footage, and I've looked over and seen some things I felt I either needed to mention because I forgot to mention, or I just came up with on the fly. Just a few very simple things. One, I wanted to show you all the sight picture. So the rear sight is very simple. It's just a little notch, and the front sight is, oddly enough, elevation adjustable. It's a little screw. Get in focus. Focus. No. Okay. Well, anyways, it's very simple. Bring it up here. The notch, or the thing goes in the notch, and you're lined up and ready to go. Another thing I felt was worth mentioning, I didn't say it when I was talking about the extractor. However, I removed the extractor. The reason I was banging on one of these pins, this one, the one that's all fucked up, was I was trying to bang on it and remove it because the extractor was a solid piece of metal with a little hole through it, and it was hooked on in a way which it was difficult to get out, so I ended up just grabbing it with a pair of pliers and bending it until it broke. And it was steel, and it bent and it broke fairly easily. Yes, it's partially because it was rusty, but it was substantially thick enough steel where it should have been difficult to do. Which makes me think this steel is not heat treated, which makes me think this is set up for black powder. So, another thing, the spring is not a spring as you can think of it as like a slinky. It's right in here, it's just a flat piece of metal that has a lot of tension in it. And yeah, those are the couple things I wanted to share with y'all before I go on to this outro segment. You can tell by how dark it is, I filmed this after going through and reviewing all my footage. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed this rather poorly made video on the Takedown Mystery Shotgun. As I've said before, I do not know if it fires smokeless or black powder, and since they generate different pressures, black powder is a lot lower pressure than smokeless powder. If this gun was designed for smokeless powder and I stuck a black powder, or rather if it was designed for black powder and I stuck a smokeless shell in, there's a good chance it would generate too high pressures for the metal would crack and explode. So I don't want to do that. Plus, it's 100 years old, it's rusty, it's got, it's pretty damn rusty. I wouldn't trust the metal, per se. I mean, it seems solid enough, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's the end of the video. Since school for me is ending soon, like at the end of this week, expect another kind of part 2 to the school's out, burn all my shit in a pit video. As you can see, the pit as of right now is filled up with branches and shit, so I kind of can't burn yet. However, maybe I get my hands on some shotgun shells for this. Maybe I'll burn it and then shoot it. I mean, I don't know. I'll cover it in gasoline and throw some metal on and shoot it, make sparks and injure myself with shrapnel. I won't do that. Yeah. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. My, 5 viewers. Bye.